All right, let's talk about patterns and sequences, huh? I've been doing this for my geometry classes. First one I've done for algebra, so hopefully it's not too horrible. Even though I know I hate the sound of my own voice, but you know, you can deal with it, huh? So, this whole section is about patterns, sequences, a list of numbers going up. So basically, not that we're only going to be talking about sequences for the most part. And it's a list of numbers that follow a logical pattern. And just so you know, even though we're actually not going to do any of this, I put some questions on there with this, but I wouldn't do them if I were you. A series is when you add up the list of numbers. So we're only going to be talking about sequences. So on this very first worksheet, you've basically just got to figure out the pattern and for the first part and tell me what's coming next. So the common things that you're going to see are adding or subtracting. There could be multiplication. There could be division, stuff like that. So, I mean, obviously I can give you a pattern that's like 2, 5, 8, 11, and I would ask you, what are the next things that are happening? First thing I always do is try to look for adding or subtracting. Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So then you would know plus 3, and you get the next two. Now, this doesn't always have to be the same number that's being added or subtracted. I could start off with 77, 76, 74, 71. It just has to be a logical pattern. So it doesn't have to be the same number each time. So once again, I would try to start off with something like, what's happening here? -1, -2, -3, which would then hopefully tell you that you do -4, and then -5, and -6, and you get 67, 62, and 56. Number 5 on the first worksheet, pattern, sequences, and series. That's a very special, famous sequence called the Fibonacci sequence. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. Let me just say it has to do with all of the numbers that are there. That is your clue. So the other thing that I'm going to make you do with sequences on this first quiz and this first worksheet is I can give you basically a repeating sequence. Meaning it goes ABC, 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 ABC. So it repeats over and over. And I could ask you something like, what is the 10th term? Right? And maybe you don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to do some math to do it. So you could just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Not too bad. It would take a while, though. What if I asked you what is the 19th term? And as just a note, term means, I don't know, the number in the sequence. So another way I've seen people do this, if they don't want to write it over and over and over and over again, they go ABC, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. A. Right? And so you can just count. then I could be super, 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 super obnoxious and ask you something like, what is the 105th term? Now, you could write all of these out. That would take forever. So the things you've got to know is, remember, it repeats every 3, right? So the easiest way is to use long division, and hopefully remember that. And find the remainder. So to find the 105th term, we're going to use long division. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, and you get 1, 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times. You get 35. Remainder 0. So what that means is this pattern repeats exactly 35 times with no remainder. So no remainder means it's the last term. Right. Which means the answer is C. So I can give you a different pattern. Tajay, Jake, Connor, Rachel. Tajay, Jake, ... And I could ask you, what is the 59th term? So what you do is you count how many different things are there to repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you're going to do 59 divided by 4. 4 goes into 5 once. 1 times 4 is 4. You subtract. 19. 4 goes into 19 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. You get a remainder of 3. So what you do then, if it's a remainder of 3, you write out first 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. The answer is C. And that's really what you've got to know from the patterns and sequences. I'm going to say, don't do the adding parts at the end. It will be unnecessary. All right, cool. Well, that's that. I'm going to the next one in a second.